What is up, DCS crew? We're back at it again today with a knife from Cjrb. First off, props to Russell for sending this one my way via the Apex Passaround. I mean, the guy's a stand-up dude. He loves getting in front of the camera. He's very passionate about artisan cutlery and Cjrb, and he was extremely excited about this knife, and I can understand why. This particular knife is one that I was really excited to get in the DCH HQ to go ahead and talk a little bit about with you, because I did see it at Blade Show. It is the Scoria. Now, there are two versions of this. One has black G10 and this one has double red Micarta scales with a black PVD coated AR RPM 9 blade. I don't want to get too much into the specifics and details just yet, because there's a bit I want to go ahead and talk about. You may have seen this on Neve's Knives, where he was really impressed in his first impressions. And guys, you can color me impressed too. So keep in mind, this is the Cjrb Scoria, and we'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about this after the intro. So stay tuned. All right, guys, quick word of advice. Make sure you have enough memory on whatever it is you're going to be filming, so that you're not 4.5 minutes into it and it just stops because it has run out of memory. So that is basically what happened to me with this particular knife. This is the Scoria, or as I like to call it in Spanish, the Escoria. Okay, so to be able to go ahead and show off a couple of knives that are very similar or maybe a little different in size, just for scale purposes, we have the Swags Milea from also from Cjrb. Okay, as you can see there, it's quite a bit bigger than that. Let's see, what else do we have? We have the Lumi from Cjrb, and you haven't probably seen these outside of some of the videos that I have put up, because this is still a prototype. 14C28N. It kind of has that Puko knife kind of look. It's a nice folder from Justin Lundquist. This is the Cryo from Concept Knives. I do have two versions of that, one with a stonewash blade and this one with the black coated D2 blade. Speaking of Micarta, we have the Cazador from Artisan Cutlery, AR RPM 9 steel, just like the Scoria, with a really nice green canvas micarta and oversized pivot. As you can see, I mean, that's a big ass pivot next to that one. All right, and what do I have in my pocket? Let's see, it's in my back pocket. I have a slip joint with me today. It is the Bevy slip joint from Nick Swan, natural or jade G10 with 154 cm steel. Pretty cool. Just under a 2.5 inch blade. But yeah, you didn't come here for that. You came here to see this. So this is going to be just under a 3.5 inch blade. You're looking at, I want to say, an overall length of just over 8 inches with this particular knife. And the handle is actually a little bit bigger than it looks. This is about 4.5 inches. It's a little bit more than 4.5 inches. And this weighs, I want to say, just about 3.5 ounces. So it's not huge of a knife. It's a nice medium-sized knife that you can carry. This is probably what, you know, on the larger set of knives, or maybe just a normal non-office carry kind of knife that I would carry. And to be completely honest, what I really like about this is that they have G10 options and then they have Micarta options. If you pick up this particular G10 option, you can probably get it for about $79.99, which is actually on the upper side of Cjrb's pricing range. But the truth is, you're getting a hell of a knife. Getting a hell of a steel. It's proprietary to Artisan Cutlery and Cjrb, so you're only going to get it from them. This is probably the first PVD coated version of AR RPM 9 that I've seen. You get titanium thumb studs, you get a titanium pivot collar, and the pocket clip, which, by the way, it is reversible. And in all honesty, if you liked a knife that they have reviewed, I mean, that has been on this channel, it's been reviewed by other channels, and, you know, very well loved, that looks just like this, only it's missing that flipper tab. If you like the Feldspar, this is basically the Feldspar Plus. This is a really nice setup. The blade shape is slightly different. They put a flipper tab. This is a larger version than the one I have. I have the small Feldspar. It was actually gifted to me by Russell over at Artisan Cutlery when I was over at SHOT Show 2020, before the whole COVID thing. And yeah, I saw this at Blade 2020. He's like, hey, Carlos, you know, you remember that Feldspar I showed you? Man, check this one out. And when I saw this, I'm like, damn, okay. So he's got, you know, a little bit of a playful action over here. You got a nice grind going on over here. It's actually, you know, pretty nice and straight. You know, everything was built, you know, it looks like it's nicely done up to spec. And in truth, I mean, there's a lot that I like about this particular knife. I'm not the biggest fan of the pocket clip because it's not a deep carry clip, but the truth is, one thing that I do like is that it is titanium, and the fact that it is just nice and smooth. You're not gonna have any issues with, you know, any screws or anything like that catching, because the screws are actually flat screws that are inside the inset liner on this side. So let's see if I can go ahead and show it off. I probably can't because I don't seem to find my light. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, let's see if we can go ahead and show this off. Okay, so if you look very closely, you'll be able to see two screws. Yeah, you should be able to see them there, right there. And with a T6 driver, that's T6 by the way, right here. There we go. Okay, so with a T6 driver, you should be able to go ahead and remove that clip, but you're gonna go ahead and have to disassemble the knife first. So to be able to do that, you're going to be using two types of bits. You're going to use a T8 bit right here for the pivot, and then you're going to use a T6 for essentially everything else. I'm not really the biggest fan of that. I really wish everything was T8. There are knives from other companies that are Chinese, just like them, that use T8 for everything. And they actually have another knife that I've showcased on the channel recently. Where the hell is it? Okay, here. The Casalot. This is a T9. This is a T8. And this is T6. What the hell were they thinking? But in any case, that's artisan. I'm talking about Cjrb. So yeah, T8 and T6 for the hardware. So you're going to use T8 for the pivot, T6 for the hardware, and you can take that apart, and then you can go ahead and use the T6 on the inset liners, which by the way are painted black. And it's very nice. I mean, you know, even for being, you know, coated in black, the, you know, the track for the bearings, it's very nicely done. The action on this is really good. I really like the feel of this. You may have seen this on Neve's Knives, and he had a first impressions video where he really liked it. I know because I saw it. I'm a huge fan of Jared. And he actually sent something for me to go ahead and show off on the channel. Can't really talk about it too much yet, but it is here. So stay tuned for that. It's actually a Tucson video. But back to this. You know, there's quite a bit to like about this knife. I'm not a big fan of black blades, but this is a PVD coated AR RPM 9. It's probably the first one that I've seen like this. You know, being that it's their proprietary steel, I know that they come out with versions of this all the time, but I don't really get to hold stuff like this very much in my hand. So that being said, huge shout out to Russell as well as the Apex Passaround for going and providing this. Tab for left and right hand carry, guys. This is a nice, I want to say about an 8-inch size blade. So if you're used to something about the size of an Ontario Rat number 1, this is going to be right up your alley. It's a nice upgrade. It's going to cost about double, but you're going to get exceptional ergos. It's going to be an exceptional cutter. You have AR RPM 9 steel, which, I mean, by contrast, you know, the closest thing that Ontario Knife Company will have to that, which is a Taiwanese company, they're going to have D2. D2, when it comes to corrosion and wear resistance and stuff like that, it's not going to hold a candle to AR RPM 9. It's just, it is what it is, and you gotta understand. Now, gripes about this particular knife, to be completely honest, you have the thumb stud, you have the pivot collar or shoulder like they call it, and the pocket clip in, you know, just that standard either the satin or the rubbed, you know, titanium. And I mean, then you have the screws in black, and then you have the liners in black, and then you have, you know, the standoffs as stainless steel. There's kind of a lot going on with that. I mean, I think that the color scheme would have been best suited if maybe, you know, this was all black, or if this was all, you know, stainless looking, or, you know, had that satin look and stuff like that, because it just doesn't look right to me. I don't know, but it's still a looker. It's a very nice knife. And from what I've seen 3 versions. I've seen pictures of the carbon fiber one. I've seen this one, which is the double red micarta. Sorry about that, guys. I had some technical difficulties. Like I was saying before, you know, there's the double red micarta that I really like on this one. There is the black G10 version. This one will cost you about $10 more. You can pick it up at most places for about $79.99. If you have Amazon, you can pick this up in black on black. So that's going to be black G10 with the black coated, the PVD coated AR RPM 9 steel blade on Amazon Prime with Prime 1-day shipping. And it's not like it's going to come here via US Postal Service. You're actually going to get it in the 1 day that they stay, because they have their own courier service. which, I mean, that's another horse that I'm not going to even bother to ride. I can't stand the U.S. Postal Service. But anyways, you can get it on $69.99. I'm going to go ahead and put the link down in the description so you can go ahead and pick it up from them. I do have an Amazon affiliate link, and I do make a little bit of, you know, coin if you choose to go ahead and pick something like this up from there. So, you know, support your boy here at DCS so we can keep doing these videos by doing that. Now, my thoughts on this particular knife: should you buy it? Should you trade for it? Or should you just not bother and just pass? This is a buy. If you liked the Feldspar, pick this up. If you were looking for something that has a little bit more snazz to it, it's a little bit more dapper. You know, I really like this look on this knife. I really do. I love this look. It's kind of like crimson-ish, you know, micarta. I really dig that. I like the fact that it has the different deployment options. You get a nice sized thumb stud here, and it's placed extremely well to be able to go ahead and flick out every single time. I have not had a problem with the bearings on this, which, by the way, are ceramic bearings. And you have the flipper tab as an additional method. If you choose not to use the thumb stud, say you're bored one day, you want to use the flipper instead of the thumb stud, you do get the variety, and you get the choice. And, you know, as they say, variety is the spice of life. So one thing I also like that is different from the Feldspar is they put this little finger choil here that even the chunkiest of chunky fingers like mine and this index finger can go ahead and squeeze into and not feel the blade potentially cutting into it. So that is really what I wanted to go ahead and talk about on this knife. Let me know what your thoughts on it are on it. I mean, I know Jared actually really liked it. Everybody I've spoken to actually really likes this. And I actually, when I saw it over at Blade Show, I was like, damn, okay, I see you. I see where you're going with this Cjrb/Artisan Cutlery. And if you have a particular question about this knife, or maybe the performance of the AR RPM9 steel, since it's proprietary, reach out to Russell over at Cjrb or Artisan Cutlery via Instagram. Or, you know, however you choose. If you want to go ahead and relay a message to me and have me go ahead and let him know and answer you, I'd be more than happy to do that. He loves getting in front of the camera. He is super passionate about these knives. He's super passionate about the catalog. He loves working with people who actually use these knives in the field. And he likes to hear real life stories about how these steels perform. Because you can always, you know, say it works well and, you know, through steel metallurgy and that sort of thing. Oh, but hypothetically, if it's, you know, if the HRC is at 60 or 61 or 62, it can perform better than such and such of a knife. But at the end of the day, you know, the people that use it are going to be people like you and people like me. So why not go ahead and hear the actual the derived results from people like you and I who use this in the field. So shout out to Russell, shout out to Artisan and Cjrb, and shout out to the Apex Passaround for letting this come across Daily Carry Solutions with your boy Carlos. And you guys, thank you so much for watching this. This is the end of the review. Go ahead and check out some of the videos down here if you so choose. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. So in the meantime, you take care. Watch those videos to kind of hold you off until I come up with the next upload. And just remember, guys, if you EDC, think of DCS. Peace.